Una estrella doble iluminó el cielo anoche y algunos la identifican como la estrella de Belén que se menciona en la Biblia. El fenómeno pudo disfrutarse a simple vista, pero en realidad no era uno, sino dos cuerpos celestes. Se trata de Venus y Júpiter, que culminaban así un proceso de aproximación que duró todo un mes. El evento se produce una vez cada 8 años y aunque ambos planetas lucen muy cerca, en realidad están separados por miles de millas de vacío interestelar. El próximo acercamiento ocurrirá en 2023.
A year that many of us would like to forget. There's a bright spot. Literally, one spectacularly rare Christmas star is about to light up the sky on the first day of winter. Could it be the Star of Bethlehem? Jennifer Brindisi finds out.
The brightest lights in the heaven shines on the first night of the winter solstice this year, and it's bringing a sense of wonder and awe right before Christmas. It's not happened since 1626 and not been seen since the year 1226. We talked with expert Kurt Spivey from YSU, who explains it as Jupiter and Saturn coming super close together, appearing as a single bright star December 21st.
The people of the Middle East did not follow the planets and stuff like the people from the Far East did. So most scholars that you will talk to as far as astronomy goes do think it was probably a planetary conjunction that happened around, I think it was around 4 AD.
Regardless of whether you believe it's the Star of Bethlehem, which the Bible mentions, it is undoubtedly going to be quite the sight.
This is a terrific thing to look at with binoculars as well. And if it is cloudy on the 21st, they're going to be getting closer and closer and closer together over the next 3 weeks, and they'll still be really close together for a few weeks after that. So if you don't get them right at the close approach, try it on either side when you get some clear skies. It's still going to be a spectacular show.
With more local news, I'm Jennifer Brindisi.
See so-called wanderers of all shapes and sizes passing by Earth all the time. But now they say they've discovered the largest comet they have ever seen, and it will reach the orbit of Saturn in 2031. Dubbed Bernard Donnelly Bernstein after the two astronomers who discovered it.
It is a long-standing tradition that comets, the discoverer gets their name attached to the comet, like Halley's Comet. So nothing wrong with the names. It's just I'm a little clumsy with names. But this comet is unusual. And if I say something like giant comet headed toward the sun or whatever, people will get a panicky, strange idea. It's not like that at all. This is not going to come anywhere near the Earth. In fact, quite a distance away. But there's something about it that's special. It really is a big comet.
This is the most important meteorite ever to have fallen in Britain. It will help reveal the birth of the solar system.
By the way, the largest comet ever seen has now been discovered, and apparently it's heading toward the sun. Researchers say this comet will make its closest approach to Earth.
And all of a sudden, no one's talking about this, but apparently we might die this weekend. Actually, I should take that back. The scientists say we won't, but there is an asteroid that's coming very close. So that's how you say that so matter-of-factly. So there are like designations for asteroids, and this one in particular has been labeled potentially hazardous because of how close it will come to Earth tomorrow. Did anybody tell you that?
I didn't know
There's
about
an asteroid coming. We have no Ben Affleck ready. There's nothing happening. It's like the end of days. Is unavailable. Yeah. We have no idea what's going on.
Part of a family driveway on which a meteorite landed in February has been removed and will go on display at the Natural History Museum. The meteorite, which is already on display at the museum, crash-landed in Gloucestershire in February. Scientists will carry out research on both the meteorite and the driveway.
In the depths of the winter lockdown, something bright came to Earth. A blazing fireball from back in deep time landed on a driveway in the Cotswolds. It was a space rock
Yeah. So will you keep your eyes to the sky stuff?
Always, always, and we'll always have an interest in it because we've been inspired by the scientists we've met. So we always want to keep going. Yeah.
Waiting for that next fireball.
Yeah.
This is the most important meteorite ever to have fallen in Britain.
Gary Bernstein, a University of Pennsylvania astronomer and co-discoverer of the object, said in a statement, "We have the privilege of having discovered perhaps the largest comet ever seen, or at least larger than any well-studied one, and caught it early enough for people to watch it evolve as it approaches and warms up. Experts say that it's the most distant comet ever to be discovered."
It's outgassing quite far already. It's not as close as it'll get, so it has to be some volatiles that are coming off. I just don't know what they will be. And by the way, just for your reference, here's the state of Delaware. And here's the size of Los Angeles County compared to Delaware. So we're talking about an LA County sized comet out there kind of flying at us. So keep that in mind whenever we reference Delaware. It's a little longer than it.
Finally tonight, there are countless stars in the sky, but there's only one that's associated with Christmas, right? I'm talking about the Star of Bethlehem. Many of us who are Christian, and by that I mean about 2 billion of us, we grew up with the Star of Bethlehem in songs and in stories that were handed down to us. The star is surrounded in mystery. After all, why would it suddenly appear if not as a way to guide the 3 wise men to the baby Jesus? Well, astronomers are now chiming in. Here is RT's Trinity Chavez.
For more than 2 millennia, the Star of Bethlehem, better known as the Christmas star, has been fascinating astronomers. Experts have even been speculating about the cause of the star for centuries, trying to figure out exactly what it is and if it even really exists. But now one researcher is sharing possible explanations for the mysterious astronomical wonder. The Star of Bethlehem is mentioned in St. Matthew's Gospel and is one of the main symbols associated with the birth of Jesus. But it is also an inexhaustible subject of debate as a scientific phenomenon as to what is really going on in the sky that led a group of men to travel for 8 to 10 months toward the town of Bethlehem.
It's possible to use stars for navigation.
For centuries, the star has been the center of debate on whether or not a star actually appeared in the sky to lead the Magi to Bethlehem. But some believe that the symbol was nothing more than a literary device.
In ancient cultures, astronomy and astrology were typically tied. They were unified. The positions of stars and planets were kept track of, and there may have actually been a particular planetary alignment that meant that there would be a birth of a king.
While there's still a lack of documentation, records about astronomical events like this one actually do exist.
A lot of astronomers who want to look at ancient astronomical events typically refer to Chinese recordings. Just to be clear, it's not only Chinese recordings. There are also, for example, Arabian recordings that keep track of these ancient events.
And while some researchers say that if it actually did exist, the Star of Bethlehem was a comet, a supernova, or a triple conjunction.
It's a triple conjunction, where there are 2 objects that meet up, whether it's a star and a planet, or a planet or 2 planets aligning. It happens 3 times over the course of a short period of time.
After analyzing the data, Castillo says that he thinks that it could actually be a variable star.
My favorite theory is that of a variable star, where the variable is a star who increases or decreases its light intensity. Its period could be anywhere between the matter of hours to years.
While there are still no clear answers about the Star of Bethlehem, there is one thing that experts are sure of, and that is the continuation of this debate. Reporting in New York, Trinity Chavez, RT.
So this is going to be a little bit of anticipation for the future for us all. In 2022, we might be able to witness an explosive creation of a new star visible by the naked eye. This will happen because of the explosive collision of 2 stars. The new star will appear in a constellation, and its creation may be so bright that it could be seen in the sky for a few days. To talk more about that, we're joined now by Professor Larry Molinar of Calvin College in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Professor Molinar, for us simple folk, can you start by describing the birth of a star and why it's so magical? I mean, I remember learning in school about it, and it's kind of cool.
Yes. Well, this is not the birth of the star by the normal means, but this is starting with two already existing stars. And as they have evolved over time, the two stars have come close to each other. This is what we now call contact binary stars, so close that they're touching each other. The new star is that we expect in the next 5 years, the two will merge together, forming just one.
And this is special because this is the first time that a prediction has been made about this kind of creation of a star, despite the fact that these explosions happen at least once a decade. How were you able to predict it?
That's correct. These explosions are dramatic explosions where stars get 10,000 times brighter. Usually it's easy to see once it's exploded, but you don't know what's happened before. But astronomers got lucky in 2008. There was an explosion, and a Polish astronomer studying that data afterwards found that there were data taken before for a different purpose, which he could reanalyze. And in those data, he saw that indeed there was the signature of a binary star. It gets brighter when they're side by side, fainter when one eclipses the other. And not only that, that the period was getting shorter and shorter as these two stars spiraled in together. So what we've been doing since his work is to look for that same signature in other stars. Find the star that is spiraling in, and you will know which star is the next to explode.
I guess we'll have to wait a few years to find out, but congratulations on getting to this point with the prediction, and we'll stay tuned to see what happens. Professor Larry Molinar, astronomer at Calvin College, thank you.
Thank you.